few weeks, we've been covering the writing process. The writing process helps us to create a piece that is well thought out, well planned, and is free of few grammatical errors. Now that we've covered the writing process, it is important that we learn to create our own stories. But before we can create our own stories, we have to know the three main parts of a story. The three main parts of a story include a beginning, a middle, and an end. When we create these stories, it's important that each reader knows what is going on. But before we begin, let's do a quick review of the writing process. The writing process includes 5 distinct steps. These steps include planning, drafting, revising, editing, and publishing. When we start and we're given a topic, the first thing we do is plan. When we plan out our paper, we list down all our ideas, our thoughts, our ideas about the setting, the theme, the characters. This is where we put all our ideas down onto a sheet of paper. You can do this by doing it in different ways. You can put it in a graphic organizer, you can put it in a list, or you can just write it on a paper in a way that makes sense to you. Once you've planned out all your ideas, you can proceed to the drafting phase. When you draft out a paper, you put all your thoughts that you came up with in the planning portion and put it into your paper. When you draft it out, you're able to make sure that all your thoughts are in there. Remember, when you're drafting, it does not have to be perfect. This is a rough draft. This is just to ensure that you get all your thoughts written down in your paper. Now, once you've drafted your paper, you can proceed to the revising portion. When you're revising, this is where you go through your rough draft and you look for spelling errors, you look for grammatical errors, you look for punctuation errors, you look over your sentences, and you make changes that need to be changed in regards to the spelling, the grammar, the punctuation, and things in that sense. Once you revise your paper, you go to your editing. When you begin editing a paper, you go through once again and reread your work. Here, you're able to take out words that do not belong, you're able to take out sentences that do not belong, and you're able to make changes that need to be changed. Now, once you've edited your paper, you continue to the publishing stage. When you publish your work, you're able to rewrite your draft and make sure that your final draft is one that is complete, it's free of few errors, and that you're able to finish everything. Now, once you've proceeded from this, you're able to create your own story. When you create your own story, it's important that you include a beginning, a middle, and an end. When we read books, we see these distinct parts of the book. The beginning is the most important part, in my opinion. When writing your beginning, you're introducing your reader to the characters, and you're introducing the problem. This helps gain the interest of the reader. Now, once you've written your beginning, you can proceed to the middle. When you're working on your middle, this is where all the good stuff happens. This is your action phase. This is where the characters figure out how to solve the problem that you mentioned in the beginning. Now, once your middle has been completed and a problem has been figured out how to be solved, you proceed to the end. When you're at the end of a story, this is where the problem is solved. This is where the characters have worked together and have solved the problem, and that the story has come to a close. Each of these relies on one another. Without one, you cannot have a well-written paper. Now that you know the 3 different parts of a story, it's important that we learn to put it to use. Now that we've covered the different steps of the writing process and the 3 main parts of a story, we are going to use that knowledge to create our own stories. Using our knowledge, we're going to pick one of these 4 scenes that are on the board to create our own stories. These stories can be whatever you would like, just as long as they utilize the writing process and the different parts of a story. Now, Let's begin.